Hey, good morning, everybody. Peter Kima here. It is Friday morning. It is the week of April Fools, although I think for most of us, I feel like we've been living in the week of April Fools for several weeks now, right? Um, Anyhow, good morning to you. I am coming to you live. So today I'm coming to you live from a different location. You may notice, for those of you that tune in every week, you know that we do most of our shows either at my main office here in Wake Forest. Occasionally we'll do one in Raleigh. Oftentimes right here at my home office. Today, we decided to do it here from our living room. The reason for that was, Carrie Nelson, this is for you. We decided to just change the background for you, right? And yes, I know that we can change backgrounds and do other things. Even on Zoom calls, there's backgrounds now we can use. There's different we can do. I get it. I understand. But for Carrie Nelson, today I'm coming to you from my living room for that reason. So anyhow, good morning to you. I hope you guys are all doing okay. Unprecedented, really odd, weird times we're living in right now, right? It is a very unique world right now. Excuse me one second. My wife is actually texting me, and if Jennifer's texting me, that's important, right? Very nice. Anyhow, listen. No, it wasn't. I love you. It's probably some sweet nothings, right? She probably was whispering sweet nothings to me. So lots of things to talk about this morning. Number one, wanted to talk to you a little bit about how much better of a home cook have you become in the last 3 weeks? Are you trying recipes tried and true, or are you going to brand new? I mean, what is it that you're doing for the lack of being able to go to restaurants at a whim like we typically can? And for those of you that are supporting restaurants locally, man, thank you for doing that, right? If you're doing pickup or delivery or whatever it may be. But for those of you cooking at home more often than not, what is it that you're cooking, and do you have a recipe? Do you have a go-to? Anything you want to share with us that you know that we're all going to love? If you've got something, go ahead and share that with us. We'd love to see that. Number one. So this is really important, guys. This is matter of fact, this is really important. Check on your tribe. Guys, when you're right now, right, whether that be your real estate team or your team at work or your family, your extended family, your great friends, check on your tribe. Everybody's dealing with this totally differently. Just to share with you, be vulnerable for just a second. The first week that we were all home, I struggled emotionally with that. I struggled not being home, but just struggled with the whole just weirdness of no hugs, no high fives in the grocery store when you saw friends, keeping distance. Like emotionally, I really struggled with that, and I've had my ups and downs since then. Logically I understood it, I get it, but emotionally I was challenged with it. So I suspect other people are being challenged as well. And when and how that's happening, I don't know. I suspect that people are kind of having ups and downs, right? And so please check on your tribe, check on your relatives, check on your friends. I mean, if you've ever been one of those people to tell everybody else that, listen, I never do a good job of staying in touch with people, or I really need to do a job of staying in touch with people. Guys, now is the time to do that. Pick up the phone and call your friends. I've got a great friend in Orlando, for example, a fraternity brother of mine, Chris Moore. I intend to be calling him today and just jump on the phone call with him, just kind of hang out a little bit. Now, he and I do a fairly decent job of that to begin with, but we're going to do a better job, right? Have a plan for that, right? Think about the people that you know, love, and trust, and just think about those people, especially those people that are alone right now. Being alone is really, really a challenge. The other part of your tribe might be pets, man. Spend a little time with your pets. They can feel the stress that you're feeling, right? And so, make sure that your pets know that you love them and that there's time for them too. It was interesting. I have worked almost every hour since we've been on lockdown. All right, for 3 weeks now, I've worked almost every hour, weekend included. I haven't taken, and I'm not sitting there looking for a medal, I'm not asking you to pat me on the back. I'm just telling you that's how I've dealt with this. There's plenty to work on right now. That being said, yesterday afternoon about 2 o'clock, I just finally gave up. I shut it down. I turned off the light in my office, came out, hung out with my kids. We've been playing a lot of basketball. Been taking Ozzy to the dog park. Those of you that follow me on Instagram have seen, video of Ozzy and I at the dog park. But yesterday afternoon, I just shut it down. I needed a little trip down, peak Kima time. I just needed a little downtime. So I'd encourage you to do the same. But back to the original point, check on your tribe, check on your friends, check on their families. Right? Be that person. Be the light, right? Be the light right now. Be the leader in your community, whether that's your community where you live or the community that you socialize in, or just, your best. Be the light in that situation. Well, good morning to all of you that just joined. Conrad, good to see you, my friend. I miss you, my brother. I want to thank you guys, right? So we introduced a hash a couple weeks ago called Pause the Politics. We've gotten great private messages from so many of you about pausing the politics. I just want to reiterate what that means, guys. I'm not telling you not to take your eyes off the ball, right? We've got a major election that's going to set the tone for this country for the next 4 years plus again coming in November. I get it. And I understand the Democratic National Convention has been delayed. I understand all that stuff's going on. I'm talking about pausing the politics on here, right? Pausing the politics when it comes to just being mean to each other right now, right? So we teach our kids all the time, right? In our house, we tell our kids, you've got two thumbs, take those and point them here first and think, even if you feel like someone's fault, what could you have done differently, better, or how could you have impacted the situation in a way where the other person didn't even have a chance to be at fault, right? Take responsibility first. What we're finding on Facebook, at least up until just recently, is there's a lot of this, right? A lot of people want to point at Trump. A lot of people want to point at the Democrats. A lot of people want, stop pointing and start taking accountability. What can I do to be a difference maker, to be that light? What can I do to make a difference right now, and not this? Not this, you. Let's forget the you stuff and think we, right? Let's all be French for a while, right? That was my attempt at humor. Hey, good morning, Lump. Good morning to you, my friend. So anyhow, just a couple of thoughts there. I want to take a second on behalf of everybody that I've been speaking to recently. We're all so grateful. I can say this on behalf of all of you because I know you feel the same way. For those of you that are on here or know somebody that is on the front lines, right? Somebody that is out there as a nurse, somebody that is out there working in the restaurants, at the grocery stores, all those places, and putting their own families at risk every single day. My heart goes out to you and your families. It's no different than how I feel, many of you feel about our military. Those spouses that stay behind while the other spouse is overseas serving, they're just as important. And so thank you to you, your families, and all of you that are making a contribution. Last week we offered up for any of you people that are nurses, right? Or if you have a nurse in your family, or you know somebody that is a nurse. And if there's a way that I had people reach out to me that wanted to support this. They said, did anybody responded? And we didn't get any responses, and that's okay. But if you know somebody that wants, that might need some help, let us know. Let's figure it out together. Let's use our tribes to figure it out, right? Whether that's providing meals or whatever that may be, whatever that looks like, let's do that together. So if you know somebody that's in need, let's get connected, right? To those of you that reached out to me after last week's coffee talk and said, hey, who contacted you? I can make a mac and cheese, or I can do this, or I can do... Man, thank you. I raise my cup to you as well. As far as I'm concerned, you're a frontline person as well. I want to shift gears for a second. So Adam Schefter. Raise your hand if you know who Adam Schefter is, right? Miranda Dalziel, who I see is on here, is a big NFL football fan, right? Huge NFL football fan. She'll know who Adam Schefter is. So Adam Schefter, who makes his money based on the NFL, has come out and said that he feels very strongly that the NFL... I love it, Miranda, that the NFL should not be hosting their draft that is upcoming, even though they're doing it remotely, all those kind of things, doing it safely. He feels that there shouldn't be an NFL draft. So I'm curious, what do you think? There's two arguments here, right? He feels it shouldn't happen at what looks like it might be the height of this whole thing, right? Mid-April. But I'm hearing the other side of that as well is, man, Americans could use a distraction, right? I love it. Anthony's here. Good morning, Anthony. The Americans can use a distraction from things, right? And an NFL draft may provide just a little bit of live entertainment for us to do just that. I'm curious to know, what do you think? Yes on the draft, no on the draft, delay the draft. What does that look like in your world? How do you think that should be handled? It's a really interesting question because the NFL, let's face it, it is a big part of our day-to-day lives. Anyhow, just a thought there. I'm curious. My wife and I started binge watching a show. All right, I hate to binge watch shows because I have an addictive personality. I will dive in. So we started watching something called The Stranger. It's only one season on Netflix, and we're about through, I think we've got 2 episodes to go. We watched them all in the last 24 to 48 hours. Do you have a binge-worthy show? Please list them here because I have a feeling that several of us on here today could use your recommendations for a binge-worthy show. And think outside the box. It doesn't have to be on Netflix. My youngest son right now is binging The Office, for example. Like, he is absolutely loving watching old episodes of The Office. And he started season 1 and going straight through. And for those of you that know Camden know that that's exactly how he would do it, not just randomly. But What are you binge watching? And what are you reading right now? It's interesting. I just heard somebody say, don't worry about self-help books right now, which I thought was interesting. Enjoy yourselves a little bit. And, what's the word I'm looking for here? Supplement your lack of opportunities for entertainment right now by reading something that's entertaining, right? And so, whether it's a James Patterson book or whoever it may be, are you reading something different? So tell me what you're reading. Hey, Dom, what's up, buddy? Absolutely have the draft, all right? Chad Zupik, should the NFL host their draft now? Should it be delayed? You tell me, coach. But what are you reading? What are you binge watching? And then for those of you that aren't on here, so if you're not on here watching right now, I have a pretty good idea where you are, right? If you're not a frontline person, that is. You're probably at Home Depot or Lowe's. And I know this because every time I drive by Home Depot and Lowe's, the parking lots are like swelling. I mean, they are so full. What are we doing, guys? It's social distance time, right? 6 feet apart. The number of cars I see in the parking lot, man, there is no way you are 6 feet apart. Guys, those people that work there have families. Think about them before you just go out and make an innocuous trip to a Home Depot or a Lowe's. Think about their families first. I'm not saying don't go. I'm saying be smart about going. If you would do that for them, I think that would be great. Sunderland, Until I Die on Netflix. All right, I got you. Anthony, I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you. All right. What have you learned this week? I want to give you an opportunity to share a little bit too. What's different in the world? What have you learned? Tell me something good, right? However you want to say it. What's different right now in your world? What's changing? I'm going to give you an example, right? So this from a work perspective. In the first week of this thing, and I heard this from somebody much smarter than me yesterday, and it's exactly how I feel, so I'm just going to regurgitate this. The first week was a sprint. We were all racing around trying to figure out what to do, right? And we were going quickly, shifting, taking care of expenses, all those kind of different things. The second week, last week, was more about game planning, right? All right, everything's been shifted. Now it's time to game plan. What are we going to be doing? And then this week, I think for me, and I think for a lot of you, we realize, and this has nothing to do with real estate, mind you, this has to do with life. I think what we've realized is that this is going to be a marathon. This isn't going to be a sprint, right? And so thinking about this as a marathon, you got to start pacing yourselves emotionally, mentally, physically, and everything in between, right? And so I think together, right, teamwork achieves more, right? A team, TEAM, together everyone achieves more. I'm going to get that right, I promise you. Right now, this is my team. If you're on here, you're part of my team, and I'm grateful for you. And let me be a part of yours, guys. Let me do that. I want to go back because there's some people who have just joined just recently. Before I move on to giving you some information on the real estate world, I want to mention to you again that if you are a frontline person or you know a family that has a nurse or a doctor or anybody that's working on the front lines, we want to help. And by we, I mean all of us and many of you. And so can we provide them a meal? Can we go rake their yard? Can we go blow off their driveway? What can we do to help somebody you know right now? And that doesn't have to be right here in Wake Forest. It could be for you people back up in Orange, Massachusetts. I tell you, some of the biggest hearts in the world are my friends back in Orange, Massachusetts. Anthony down there in Tampa, right? My buddy Chris, my buddy Conrad out there in Oak Ridge. What is it you can do, and who is it that needs some help? Work through me. Let me know how I can organize our tribe to help you. Hey, I love it, Michael. I love it. You're welcome, Jessica. I'm glad you're on here with us this morning. So let's talk a little bit about real estate. I can't tell you where we are because I don't know. All right, and anybody who tells you they know where we are right now, they don't know either. Here's the reality of it. Real estate agents are really, really busy right now, guys. Busier than we've ever been. Why? Because the way real estate works is the work we do 60 and 90 days ago produces itself today. And so we're busy now because we worked really hard in October, November, and December. And that's why we're busy now. We've been preparing for a spring market for months, right? Months and months. And so a lot of what we're doing right now is residual from that. But let me share something with you. Here in the Triangle market in particular, I think this is an interesting statistic. Showings are down across the country. People aren't looking at houses at the numbers they typically do. That doesn't mean people aren't looking at houses, though. The people that are out looking at houses right now, it's kind of the same thing between Thanksgiving and Christmas. The people that are out looking right now, they have to buy. Those are buyers, guys. Buyers that are out there right now, they want to or need to buy, okay? Life changes. Don't it's easy to go ahead and just judge other people. really quickly and really easily. But let's be honest, guys, we don't always know everybody else's story. People could be dealing with whatever changes are happening in their lives. Job losses. Maybe they got to sell a house because they had a job loss, right? Maybe they've got to buy a house because they lost money in the stock market. Who knows what the reasons are? But there's a lot of reasons why people have to buy and sell. Life continues to go on, right? So let's not judge people. When you hear people are out showing houses virtually or otherwise, safe or otherwise, let's think about that first and come from curiosity before we become from being very judgmental about that. So my point is, showings are down in the triangle market 57% right now, right? 57%. That's a big dip in showings. However, pendings are up 10%, meaning the must-have buyers are still buying houses, or only down 10%, not up. They're down 10%. But they're only down 10% when showings are down 57%, meaning that the people that are out there looking to buy truly are buyers, right? And so people that are out there having to sell right now truly are sellers, right? So let's make a deal. Those kind of things happen. For those of you that are just looky-loos that don't want to, do me a favor. Please leave your agent alone and let this pass first. Don't ask them to go out and meet you at a house just because you want to go look at a house, right? Unless you're truly in the market, you're pre-approved, give your agent, the sellers, and the general public a break, right? Let's go ahead and just tap the brakes on just staying busy. Even if your belief is that this COVID-19 isn't a big deal, for those that think it is, please be respectful of their opinions as well. Just it's a two-way street, right? We've all got to respect each other's opinions. So, number one, again, showings down 57%, pendings only down 10%. Safety first. So for those of you that check out our real estate Facebook page, Kima Real Estate Group, you'll see today we shared a page we've been able to create with our supplier called Safety First. Go on there and take a look. It's how we are helping protect the community at large using virtual tools best we can. So please check that out. Here locally, number one, on December 27th, we had 7,184 homes for sale that were active. Right now we have 7,120. In December, you would have thought this was a great, healthy market. Guys, same number of active listings. Pendings are up, right, from December. So pendings are up considerably. The fact is the market is in a really, really good place, but again, be respectful of the people that are out there. The last thing I'm going to share with you, for those of you that own small businesses, not just real estate, but other businesses, today's a big day for you. If you have not talked to your accountant and you have not talked to your banker, be sure to do so and talk about the CARE Act. You'll be glad you did, especially if you have employees or you're paying yourself a salary. Go ahead and do that. That's all I'm going to say about that. There's an awful lot of information out there, but do it quickly. All right. So again, check on your tribe. Let us know how we can help your tribe and take care of each other. I'll see you guys in a week.